Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be spilling a little bit of tea. So, within our business, we have probably lost, and it pains me to say this, over $1 million by not having the right sales systems in place. And these are mistakes that we see many of our clients make, and I want to try to keep you from making the same mistakes as you scale your business. So there's 3 key areas that we find are typically lacking, and this is something that we definitely learned the hard way as well. So the first thing is not facilitating good follow-up with your leads. Number 2 is not tracking basic numbers and having good data around what your sales information is. And then number 3 is trying to hand off sales too soon. So I want to unpack these with you and hopefully caution you against doing some of the things that we did. So when we first started our business, we had essentially an Excel spreadsheet where we were tracking leads. Then we moved over to Airtable, but it was still very, very basic, not really a good CRM. And the thing is that we just simply had too many leads coming in to handle the lead flow that we were getting. And because I was having so many videos go viral and reaching so many new people and our business was just exploding, it was everything we could do to kind of keep our heads above water and keep responding to the people that were active and that were actively trying to sign up, let alone doing any sort of follow-up with people that didn't sign and join immediately. So first of all, having a process to be able to follow up with leads that don't immediately close on calls is very, very important, because what we were having happen was essentially if someone didn't make the purchase decision right there, we were never speaking to them again. And that's simply because, like I said, we just had too many people that we were trying to speak with and keep up with. And so to follow up with somebody that wasn't super duper committed at the time just wasn't on the priority list. And so it just went by the wayside. The next thing was following up with no-shows and people who were non-responsive after applying. Kind of the same thing where we never really made any effort to reach out to people if they didn't immediately respond to us, simply because we didn't have the time, we didn't have the capacity, and we were doing everything that we could to just keep moving forward with the people that were actively responsive. And then same thing with following up with DMs that didn't close right away. So the biggest thing that I would impart as a part of your sales process is automation, automation, automation. You should have a really high quality CRM. You can do this either in ClickUp, Salesforce, Pipedrive, there's a ton of them, but you really want to make sure that you have good tracking so that you know exactly where every person is in your pipeline, if they've been not responsive, if they no-showed for a call, if they came to a call but then didn't close. Where are they at? What is their status? And you need to have it so that when it's set up, when you tag certain people at different levels of the process, it triggers different automations within your systems to take care of that follow-up for you. So for example, if somebody didn't close on a call, you should be able to mark them as not a close in your system, and it would trigger perhaps an email automation follow-up that would continue to follow up with them and nurturing them through your pipeline. If somebody no-showed, then when you mark them as a no-show, there should be an automated email or text follow-up that would keep them in your pipeline, continue nurturing them, but not be something that you have to do manually. And so the biggest way that you can actually instill this into your business is to make sure that you are automating every single step of the process that you possibly can, so that all you have to do is click and update the status of the leads. And it has to be a non-negotiable SOP for your team as you continue to grow, that everyone is up to date with tracking their leads, tracking exactly what's going on with every single person that's in your sales pipeline. It's incredibly important. Another thing I would recommend as you grow to actually facilitate this is to have a sales manager or somebody who just reviews and makes sure that all of the lead statuses are up to date, that everybody's being taken care of, that every single DM is responded to, that automations are working and running properly, that they are tracking the response rate of those follow-up emails and the success rate of those follow-up emails and everything that's happening. It's important to have somebody that has a bird's eye view of your sales process and can keep you up to date with exactly what's going on. Now, the next big mistake that we and a lot of people make is not tracking basic numbers. so many people when they're coming through and they're submitting their information for us to do their onboarding audit, where we go through and we audit their sales process, we audit their closing, we audit their systems for facilitating this. We ask what their no-show and what their close rate is. And I would say probably a good 70% of people cannot answer what their close rate is. So essentially, your close rate, for those of you that don't know, is the percentage of calls that actually end in them signing up. So from the people that you actually get on the phone with, the percentage of people that you close or turn into a customer, that is your close rate. So having that understanding is incredibly important, because if you don't really have a good pulse as to how many people on average are going to close out of the people that you get on a call with, you have no control over your revenue. You have no way to really clearly set revenue targets, and your sales are going to be all over the place. You also don't know when you really need improvement and what areas are lacking in your sales process if you don't have these numbers. And then your no-show rate is also very, very important. If you have more than half of the calls that are being booked not coming, that's really, really an important data point. And that means that there's something wrong in your process that is causing that. So those are the two key metrics that you really need to have a pulse on in the very beginning. And most people have no idea what those are. So if you're someone who doesn't know how to track those things, definitely feel free to shoot me a DM and we can have a conversation about how to set that up for your business. Now, the next big problem that people are making is trying to hand off sales too soon. Now, I know that sales can be nerve-wracking. I know that it's difficult. I know that it's a new skill for many of you that is uncomfortable for you to learn, but it's very, very important that you actually acquire the sales skills that are necessary to facilitate consistent sales within your business, because being able to hand it off is going to come from you being able to effectively train and be a leader for your sales team. And so if you yourself can't even make the sales, you're not going to be an effective leader and be able to truly train and improve and make sure that your business is staying afloat and making the sales that it needs to be making. And I know that it's tempting, if you're not good at sales, to try to bring someone in and teach them and have them just take over and do it for you, but it really doesn't work that way. There's a lot of things that if you're not good at in your business, you can hand it off and hire somebody else to do it for you, but sales really is not one of those things. If you are going to hire a salesperson and have them be effective, you also have to have a good skill and understanding when it comes to sales within your own business to be able to improve their closing rates, make sure that your sales are consistent, and ultimately be a good founder and CEO for that person. If this video was helpful for you, be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and as always, my DMs are open if you have any questions and want to chat there, or if you want to see some of behind the scenes of how we do this in our own business, be sure to hop over to my Instagram at kenta.laney. We talk a lot about this over there, and I share a lot of behind the scenes on my Instagram stories. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.